What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Weird News Wednesdays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the strangest news stories from around the world. We talk about the news that the real news is too afraid to talk about. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how is it going?
I'm good. I just finished a yawn about a second before you introduced me, so...
That was close.
Bullet dodged.
Clean sailing from here, boy.
That's how you know it's going to be a good show, when you barely escape right at the start.
I will want to say that I was out running in the rain last night, and we do have a track record of me nearly dying on the show the day after.
That's true. I was not out running in the rain last night, but I have a track record of just dying about halfway through sometimes. So.
The monster wears off, Shaun.
The monster does wear off, but I've had two today, so I think we're good.
Back to back?
Paced them out over the day.
Oh, yeah.
Slower
back to back, and you'd be up all night.
And no one wants that. No one. This is me after two monsters, Connor. No one wants me tired.
So, Shaun, what do we do here at Weird News?
You have spent the week gathering all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man who has not and will not hear any weird news stories. So I'll be gone. You just work away there.
Yeah. Thanks very much. This is a good platform medium, whatever. Shaun, we're starting Weird News this week, where we're going to a school, and there's a little movie that has the same plotline, but with very different results. Because
is it School of Rock?
Not the School of Rock. Not the School of Rock. I wish it was. School has Jack Black accidentally run the football team. What? No. 28-year-old woman posed as student, sneaked into high school to promote her Instagram.
Oh, God. Oh, that's sinister and incredibly sad.
Yeah, both at the same time.
Now, on the flip side, I now want to know likes. This woman's Instagram. So it's work.
You want to see what stories she's putting up.
Oh, she didn't do a story of her sneaking into the school, did she?
That would ruin it, to be fair. Because when she's in there, she's like, hey, will you give me a follow? And they're just kind of like, it says here you work for a big company, and this is the video of you sneaking in here 20 minutes ago.
No, it's for the Vine, huh? She's like really out of touch.
and they're like, what? Who's Vine?
Who's at Vine?
She was arrested after authorities said she posed as a high school student and sneaked into a Miami-Dade County school to promote her Instagram page.
Sorry.
The woman, go on.
Miami. Florida.
Miami. Where's Miami? Florida woman, Shaun.
My God. Starting with Florida woman. Are you trying to kill us, Connor?
I'm a Florida woman. Audrey Nicole Franciquini was charged Monday with burglary, educational institution interference. What a niche thing to be charged with.
That's bad that they have that set up and ready to go.
They had to dust off the file. They were like, no, we fucking gotcha.
What did she burgle?
Their dreams? People's times.
Wow. People's times, which you can't get back, unlike property. And
resisting an officer after she entered American Senior High School about 11 miles northwest of Miami. Franciquini, was able to sneak her way into school's front doors by blending in with students, according to her arrest report. The police said she disguised herself by carrying a book bag and dressing similar to students, holding a skateboard and carrying a painting. Mole man.
It's literally the how do you do, fellow kids meme.
Has come to life.
Is this some elaborate 4D chess going on that isn't it funny that she's trying to pretend so bad, or am I just giving her too much credit?
I think you might be giving her too much credit. I think this is the work of a lunatic that social media has gone too far.
Yeah, why? How would sneaking in help grow your Instagram? Because I imagine... Sorry, do you have the answer for this?
Oh, no, I that's a good question. And I think... So, I'm going to ask you back, because I know how she does it. and it's very not 21st century to connect with the kids, how she goes about this. Shaun, how would you, if you snuck in, how are you going to go about getting some follows, getting some likes?
Okay, well look, there's a couple of ways you could go about it. You could go old school, graffiti the lockers. You know, every locker has at Heroes 4 Hire Pod scratched into it, right? Just as an example, if I was to throw it out
hypothetically, give us a like and subscribe.
Yeah, or, you know, there's the classic break into the principal's office and announce it over the intercom.
It's a good one. That is a good one.
People like a rebel. Or, what I imagine she did was she went and politely asked students to follow her.
No, I would say it's worse.
Oh, it's worse.
It's a very 1996 idea to get your band on the map, Shaun. Because what's inside? She handed out pamphlets with her Instagram name on them and asked students to follow her.
Fucking hell. That's incredibly... Please tell me they were at least like... She just printed off 1,000 of them. She didn't spend time folding them into like one of those 3-way pamphlets.
It's not said, but we can only assume she folded them.
Presumably, the police station had to take one of those pamphlets as evidence, so that exists somewhere. She just handed them away.
She did it up on paint the night before.
Oh yeah, and there's little spray paint effect around the whole thing. It's in Comic Sans, definitely.
It's hip. It's now. Follow me now. Oh no, it's hip. It's wow. Follow me now.
It's hip. It's what is that from?
That's Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that's it. So is her Instagram account still up, do you think?
So, secure... I don't know. I mean, is it... has she done something bad for Instagram? I don't know if you can get kicked off Instagram.
I think you can. It's probably against terms of service to break into a school. It's not explicitly said.
No, it's against the law, but is it against Instagram's terms of service?
That's probably... Yeah, surely criminals also have Instagrams, you know? So, just breaking the law doesn't mean you're exempt from Instagram.
So, do you know how they found her, by the way?
How?
So she's got the pamphlets out, and so now she's walking around with her skateboard, backwards hat, looking like Lisa Simpson when she's trying to be cool. I'm assuming colourful shirt.
Has to be. Tie-dye.
Has to be. Tie-dye all day. The security stopped her after seeing her walk through the halls while classes were in session. But she said she was looking for the registration office. But instead of going to the office repeatedly, she just kept roaming the halls.
So they caught her multiple times just strolling around.
Yeah. She couldn't find it.
Just killing time between classes.
Yeah, she doesn't have a class now in this period. She's going to the next class.
Just Mean Girls this and just fuck the pamphlets everywhere. And they'll all walk out and pick up your pamphlet. 10
things I hate about you. Walk to the top of the stairs, release them down. It worked in 97.
That's what you do. Wait till the marching band is practicing at the same time as the cheerleaders are practicing.
You start dancing, and then everyone's going to follow you.
You're classic Dreamboat Heath Ledger at that point.
Are we out of touch?
Is this not the best way to grow an Instagram?
Has anyone born in 2005, which I can only assume these people are, in the school, has seen a pamphlet before?
No, surely it's it's just a message. It's
Facebook
a JPEG.
Ads all day.
Facebook ads. I remember when we would have started being on the internet and having internet in our houses. Do you remember e-cards? There was a big push for those.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah, for a couple of years, it was just e-cards are the new thing to send. But no one did it because it's fucking useless.
So what you're telling me is pamphlets are the way to go?
Pamphlets are a classic. A time-honoured tradition is the pamphlet.
I'm going to ask you a question now, and you're not going to like it, and it could be incriminating. Shaun, if you were trying to sneak into a school...
Continue.
How would you go about it?
Oh, well, at the stage I'm at, surely it's easier to pretend I'm a substitute, a student teacher or something like that.
But then they won't follow you. on Instagram because you're not one of them.
But I don't think they would follow the new person as easily either if they're handing out pamphlets.
Yeah, because it's like, who's the weirdo with the pamphlets?
Yeah, that's just odd. Like another option, and this will absolutely get people out of curiosity. If you just write your Instagram handle on the stall of every bathroom, people will look at it. Because they're in there, they have nothing but time.
Yeah. As a man who was there, nothing but time. I'm not going back to class.
You could do a podcast from there if you wanted.
Not that I'm saying you, not that we are, but I'm just saying I'm in a school right now.
It's closed. I think I'm sleeping here tonight.
So the report states that after Francoisini was stopped the second time by security, she fled, prompting, I'm assuming, not skateboarding away. There's no way that woman knows how to use a skateboard.
No, that skateboard is in pristine. It still has the plastic on it.
Oh yeah, prompting security to report a potential threat on campus. Police were unable to identify her through her Instagram page.
So it worked.
She was arrested. They all gave her a follow. You get the follow, but you're also arrested. She was arrested at her home and taken to jail. Online court records show that she has since been released, but she's out on bail. They could not reach her for this article. The news couldn't because she turned them down. But it was seen as she was trespassing on school grounds under false pretenses, and she was posing as a student. And I mean, Shaun, the question becomes this was possibly the dumbest way to go about this. Like, how desperate are you for likes on Facebook or on Instagram to be like, I'm 28, let me sneak into this school?
Yeah, because your core audience at that point has very little in common. They're not active followers, which, as we all know, is good for the old SEO. What I wanted to ask you...
You've got like 100 followers, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm very... But they're all loyal, you know?
Yeah, gotta get those 3 guys that always like every tweet. Yeah, boys!
Yeah, the lads! But my question to you, when's the last time you were in a school?
Oh man, that seems incriminating. So I'm gonna pass that over to my attorney. Wait, no.
Right.
The last time I was in a school was my last day in school.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, sorry. For the local elections, they vote in a school.
I thought I had you there for a second, but
yeah,
all our votes take place in schools. So
yeah. That was probably the last time. I might have been there twice, and so every 4 years I go once.
Pretty good record, yeah. But other than that, the last time you were in school.
Yeah, I don't try and do a mole man or a how do you do fellow kids meme. I'm just kind of sticking away from them.
Yeah. What was your last exam, by the way?
Last exam?
Yeah, the last exam you ever did, like in school. In Leaving Cert.
Oh Lord, that's such a random question.
I know, and I'm genuinely curious now.
The last exam I ever did was tech graph drawing.
Mine as well. Oh, but
what happened was, in our exams, we had all of our exams the first week, like English, Irish, maths, all them first week, because we learn Irish in schools here. So we do all that first week, and then I had like a 2-week break. And so I packed like 6 exams into 1 week, and I was fucking wrecked. And then I had 2 weeks off, and I was like, I'll study now next week. I'll study now tomorrow.
I'll get around to drawing me pictures, yeah.
And then the day came round, I went, fuck, I don't know how to draw. Oh no.
I'm just trying to grow me Instagram here, lads.
I was walking around my skateboard thinking I had it all sorted out.
But now I've got 4 A1s.
So, Shaun, we're going to have to move on to our next piece of news. And, I mean, this headline it has so many more questions than answers.
Good.
Because
excellent. We'll answer them.
Suspect who flees with tiger has been caught, but the tiger is still on the loose.
Go on without me.
I'm slowing you down. Keep going.
Wait, was he keeping pace with the tiger, or was the tiger slowing down to stay close to him?
Slowing down is just like, come on, for fuck's sake.
Fucking tiger, lad.
Houston authorities have captured a man who allegedly evaded police while housing a Bengal tiger in a yard, but the tiger remains on the run.
There's just a tiger loose in Texas now.
I like how they just really subtly threw that in. You know, we got the guy. Like, he's done bad stuff. He's a criminal, and we have him off the streets. You can thank us, fellow people. Now, small print, there is a Bengal tiger out on the streets. But look, let's not skip that. There's a guy in jail.
Think about it, folks. This morning, we had a man with a tiger in his yard. Now we have that man, and the tiger is somewhere else.
The man is somewhere, and likewise, so is the tiger.
And in a way, isn't that the better way of doing things?
The whereabouts of the tiger are not yet known, Houston police tweeted on Monday. So...
It's not the kind of tweet you want to get.
That's kind of the worst thing to misplace. It's like, oh, my keys, oh, my phone. Has anyone seen my tiger? He's just roaming the streets.
He's trying to grow his Instagram account. I don't know if that'll be a problem going forward.
He's in the school.
He's just... Where would it... I don't think a tiger would like the Texas climate very much, would they?
A Bengal tiger? I suppose. I don't know. Have we seen Tiger King enough to know?
Those tigers, I don't think were happy, though.
They weren't happy.
They weren't happy. I just googled Tiger King. I wanted to Google Tiger Texas, but it's just going to bring up this story, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So, Victor Hugo Cuevas, 26, was out on bond for a prior robbery charge in Fort Bend County on Sunday when neighbours spotted the tiger in a front yard. There were also reports that the suspect had monkeys, which are allowed in the city, so not as much complained about them.
Right, and those are still at the house.
Just chilling.
Right, okay. So the monkeys are accounted for. The tiger remains at large.
Now, Ron Borza, who's the police commander, that's a fucking great police commander named Ron. All police commanders have to be called Ron, I assume.
Commander Ron.
So Ron says, owning a tiger is a violation of Houston law, but it is legal under Texas state law with certain restrictions, so it falls in a grey area.
Right, okay, so it's allowed in, like, the town. It's
not allowed in Houston.
Sorry, it's not allowed in the area.
It is allowed in
Texas. Right, of course.
So Jose Ramos, 50, who lives next door, was eating dinner on Sunday evening when he looked out the window and saw a tiger sitting in his front yard.
Oh my God, how do you process it? Surely, like, there must have been a moment. He was eating his dinner, right? He sees a tiger in his yard. He looks back to his dinner, does a double take, and then, like, puts the dinner down.
Takes 3 seconds. No, takes 3 seconds, looks back at his potatoes or his meat, and is just like, I'm going to take his breath, I might take another bite. If I look back up and there's a tiger then, I've gone fully mad.
So there is something in these potatoes.
Yeah. He said, I had to pinch myself. Was this real? I kept asking myself. And so he sees a tiger out on his yard. What's the logical next step?
Call the police.
Okay, and what do you not do?
Go into the yard.
Ramos went outside to assess the situation.
I can tell you the situation, Ramos. There's a tiger in your yard.
I've already assessed it. I wasn't even there. I think, fucking tiger out there. I'm going to go the opposite direction. Go this way.
What kind of arrogance do you need to walk next to a tiger and be like, I can handle this should anything happen?
Because, not to say that he's not qualified. I'm sure Ramos is a lovely man. Jose, I'm sure, has lots of qualifications. He's 50, he's been around the block a while. But we just feel, Jose, that maybe, if you see a tiger, you might get a stitch after just having dinner. You don't want to be running away in that situation.
It's like going swimming. Always wait an hour after eating before you approach a tiger.
Attack a tiger.
He's not attacking. He's assessing, Connor.
He's assessing and to get a closer look at the tiger.
He's just curious. Like, he wants a selfie is what he wants.
That's funny you say that, because the next line says, his hands trembling, scary, as he snapped some photos and videos.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ramos, you're fucking killing me here. I gave you every chance.
I like how the newspaper article tries to make him sound like heroic. His hands were trembling. He was terrified as he was getting selfies.
But like an absolute legend, he took photos of the tiger in his yard.
And then Ramos says, I mean, the next two lines he says are the words of a man that should not be in that yard. That should be nowhere near that tiger, because I'm just going to say these next two lines and you tell me whether Ramos should be there or not.
Okay.
The tiger seemed a bit skittish, but he was making full eye contact with me constantly. Shaun, those 2 points, how do you feel about Ramos being in that yard assessing the situation?
If there's one thing you don't want, it's an apex predator who won't take its eyes off you.
And is a bit skittish.
A bit jumpy, a bit ready to move in at the slightest thing. How did he know? Surely the fucking caveman side of his brain must have assessed the situation.
Danger.
Yeah.
Like danger immediately.
Threat. Predator. Go. Like, his fight or flight is busted.
Like, even if you're like a fucking Tiger King, even if I'm assuming he doesn't house tigers in his backyard, but even if he did, it's still a wild tiger that he's like trying to whisper to now, because it's now skittish and doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, he has no relationship with this tiger. Like, any argument to be made that like, oh, it's fine, they're friends. No, it doesn't exist. This is a strange tiger who's freaked out and you're just slowly moving towards him.
So, wait, this is how he got out of it. An off-duty deputy who lives nearby showed up after seeing some photos of the tiger Ramos had posted on the neighbourhood email forum.
Ramos. Surely an e-card would have sufficed.
He's like, quick, get some photos. I could just text someone, but no, the neighbourhood email forum. That's the place for this.
Guys, I've got a tiger in my house. If you want to come take some pictures, bring the kids.
I've assessed the situation. Seems skittish, but everything's okay.
I just think if we just all show up at once and just crowd around this tiger.
Shout a little bit, wave your arms.
Make a lot of noise, yeah. You don't want that tiger to forget that you're there.
So the deputy had his weapon trained on the tiger. So the deputy turns up and is just like, holy fuck, that's a tiger. And immediately pulls out his gun.
That's a tiger. You're an idiot.
Yeah. And this is when Cuevas, the suspect, comes out of his house, pleading with the deputy not to shoot the tiger. Ramos said, he sounded very stressed out. Ramos isn't stressed about nothing. He's very chill.
Ramos is still eating his fucking cereal as all this is happening.
He's in his he's just in shorts, just looking at this all take place in front of him.
Boys, I don't want any trouble here.
Yeah. The tiger just hasn't taken his eyes off Ramos.
Just Ramos is the most delicious thing this tiger's ever seen.
Ramos said he sounded very stressed out, very anguished by the mere fact that the deputy was aiming at the tiger and ready to shoot him. Cell phone video taken by Maria Torres and provided to CNN shows the big cat lounging and walking in the grass outside the suburban home. Later, a man in a white shirt, who police said is Cuevas, straddled and grabbed the tiger and tried to move it away from the others.
What the fuck, Cuevas? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you go near the tiger? I guess.
Quick, boy! Let's go!
Let's run! Like, he was hoping to ride the tiger home. I'm baffled by that. Like, the only one who seems to have their head, like, some way screwed on in that scenario is that deputy. Because he's like, okay, I need to do something.
Because what do you do? Like, it's a case of, he's off duty. He walks out of his house and there's a fucking Bengal tiger looking at him.
I don't know if, like, I don't know anything about guns, but I don't know if, like, one shot from a handgun would take down a tiger.
I mean, I suppose it depends, like, if the tiger is angry, and he's very angry at Ramos, We can assume that.
The tiger is shaking with rage.
Skittish, as some would describe him.
Some would. I would describe him as terrifying.
So, what happened was, when Houston police arrived at the scene, Cuevas put the tiger in a white SUV and drove off. There was a brief pursuit, and the man got away with the tiger, said Rod. Owning a tiger in Houston is a Class C misdemeanor, punishable by a maximum $500 fine.
That seems low. That seems very low, and a very low class of misdemeanor for owning a tiger.
And so you're thinking, right, he's after getting away. But police tweeted late on Monday that Cuevas was in custody. They had caught Cuevas. He's coming home.
He's coming home. And the tiger, guys? Any news on...
The tiger is still on the loose, as far as we know. And I'm assuming coming straight for Ramos.
The tiger has developed, like, a hit list kind of scenario. And Ramos is number 1 and 2 on that list, I think.
Deputy, maybe 3. Off-duty deputy.
Yeah, like, he has nothing personal against the deputy, but it's the principle of the thing. Like, you pulled a gun on me, you have to die.
The tiger is a 9-month-old male named India, according to the attorney for Cuevas, Michael Elliott. The attorney told CNN that Cuevas did not own it was not the owner of the tiger. He also
it was resting in his account.
He also criticised Houston for arresting Cuevas at his home, even though they already had an agreement with authorities to peacefully surrender.
Right. What I'm up to here, I've just Googled the size of a 9-month-old Bengal tiger.
Go on.
It's
tiny?
It's bigger than you think, Connor.
How big?
Like, maybe, like, the length of, like... From, like, your knees up to your head.
Oh, so big enough to eat Jose?
Oh, yeah, he'd kill him. Like, in a second. That's ridiculous.
Also, I must say, it's currently hailstoning outside. Is it hailstoning where you are?
No, but I think... It was raining earlier, so it might make its way down.
It's a thunder and lightning storm outside currently.
Oh, great! Brilliant!
Yeah. Classic May weather here in Ireland.
I'll let you'll hear it as soon as it comes down here. It'll shift from one ear into the other.
Even the ice cream man might not drive past this evening.
Oh,
that's what we're talking.
Connor, don't even joke about that. That man is the only thing keeping me going.
So the Fort Bend County Magistrate set a $50,000 bond for Cuevas Tuesday morning, and so he is in jail. Ramos had no idea a man charged with criminal mischief was living next door to him in his family-friendly community, and with a tiger no less.
Ramos, don't get all high and mighty about the tiger at this point.
Ramos is now, you don't expect it. I didn't expect it from him now. I thought he was a good man in this lovely neighbourhood.
Jez, but to bring a tiger in here, no one would like to be near a tiger. That'd be awful.
You'd have to assess the situation first, obviously.
Oh, of course. Just so
out.
I was only in there to figure out how to get out of there.
So, I mean, what do you feel about this? Is this tiger going... also, they say at the end, correction, an earlier version of this story misstated the day that the tiger was seen yesterday. It was on Sunday and it was not seen.
Oh, no, that's worse. There is no paper trail. There's no paper trail for where this tiger is anymore.
Jose's going to wake up and he's opening his eyes and he's just going to see a shadow of a Bengal tiger on 2 legs, on 2 paws, looking down at him holding a gun. I can only assume. Or
just eating a bowl of Frosties.
What? You seem a bit skittish, Jose.
Take a photo with me, Jose.
Taking photos of him.
He puts them out in the yard.
How do you feel about this? Do you feel Cuevas is a tiger, maybe a whisperer? Maybe he needed to use the tiger in his defence so he didn't get caught? It's a whole situation.
I don't know if he was like building up to some kind of tiger defence force that has just patrolling his house.
Like a Pokemon situation.
Maybe it's like a Pokemon situation, but I also think like it's not a fair fight because anyone in his local area would only have like cats and dogs when he has a tiger. It'd be like you go into like Viridian Forest, but you have Arceus.
What a reference.
Arceus versus Caterpie. It doesn't match up, lads.
Doesn't match up. It does not match up. We've heard it here first.
It's a Pokemon podcast now.
Oh man, imagine if it was.
Oh, we'd be so happy.
Honestly, I feel like Cuevas is a madman, but I think Ramos might be the hero of this story, because if you approached a wild dog and it seemed skittish and wouldn't take its eyes off you, even then you'd be backing away.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have gone in the yard in the first place. I can't stress that enough.
No. What about to assess the situation?
I can assess from indoors.
I think windows are good for that kind of thing.
We invented those so that we could assess things outside, correct?
So we're moving on, Shaun, to our next piece of news. And I'll be honest with you, this is one of the strangest stories I think we've ever covered here on Weird News.
Bold
and I know
claim.
that's saying a lot. But black man accused of wearing lifelike white man mask to burglarise homes for years.
Please tell me there's a photo of a mask.
There's a fucking photo if you Google it, Shaun,
Yes.
and he looks like a white dude with curly hair.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna... that has to do it. That has to be the start. Yeah, here we go. What the fuck?
Have you seen it?
Oh. He looks like Napoleon Dynamite. That's horrifying.
Amazing.
That's a great mask, but it's horrifying.
Is that not the smartest thing we've ever had here?
Because, like, they're going to ask for a description. And
Yeah.
what's one thing they're instantly going to say? Oh, he was a Caucasian male. He has he has his hands done as well. I think he's wearing gloves. My God.
It was
This
odd this
man.
burglar's mouth was always open when seen on video surveillance, tweeted the LAPD's Pacific. When he was caught breaking into another home, we discovered why his mouth was always open, Shaun, because it wasn't his mouth.
So he was caught in the act, was he? That they found him.
That's the only way they found him.
And was he
So-
like handcuffed up, and then like a group of local teens who solve mysteries came in and were like, "Here's your robber," and pulled the mask off him?
Old man Bill from the mill.
The guy who seemed evil from the start.
Who kept being like, yes, kids, there's awful things going on here. Jeez, that Bill, he seems like a nice guy.
Yes, Bill is great, lads. We love Bill here.
So, Rockham Prowell, 30, is being accused of robbing more than 30 Los Angeles area homes. He was arrested earlier this month after being pulled over for a traffic stop in Beverly Hills. The authorities were able to connect the suspect to at least 2 burglaries in Beverly Hills, during which flat-screen TVs were stolen. A break-in on April 20th and a break-in on June 20th of last year. Okay?
Yeah.
So the Beverly Hills Police Department released a statement on the matter. They responded to a report of a residential burglary. During the investigation, it was discovered that the same suspect was responsible for a residential burglary that happened last year as the same as this year. The suspect and the vehicle he was driving were tied to both crimes through surveillance video. During both crimes, the suspect stole flat-screen TVs.
How many TVs does he need?
How many TVs does anyone need, really? Once you steal one, is it not like, oh, we're done for the sitting room now? Now the bedroom.
Even a bedroom TV, I think, is pushing it at times.
So on May 2nd, Beverly Hills police officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle that was driven by Rockham Prowell. During the investigation, a face mask and other items located in the car connected him to residential burglaries. The license plates attached to the vehicle were also determined to be stolen, Shaun.
Oh, it's not looking good for him in this whole evidence gathering phase.
According to the LAPD, the suspect was also linked to 7 other burglaries in their community. But they couldn't catch him because they could never find the guy that was in every single video.
Yeah, like it could have just been someone took his car, maybe. every time
He could
to
just
do a
claim
robbery.
that it was his friend, and they'd never find the friend.
That's amazing. And what was it, a routine traffic stop, or was he just pulled over for doing something?
I think it was a routine traffic stop. It doesn't really say here at the minute. Maybe it'll say later on.
No worries. I was wondering, was it our classic thing of criminals doing the smallest thing wrong and then everything unravelling?
They do say it was on this burglar's mouth was always open, and when he was caught breaking into the home, we discovered why. After being arrested, officers searched the man's car and discovered the face mask, and connected him to the crimes. They also discovered stolen goods at his residence. The alleged masked robber is being charged with 2 counts of grand theft, 2 counts of burglary, and 1 count of vandalism. And now he was released already. But social media, despite the seriousness of it all, it's hard not to poke fun at it, and just the mask with the Scooby-Doo references, because it's honestly, I mean, it is Scooby-Doo. This man was pulling a Scooby-Doo over 30 crimes, repeatedly robbing houses, and he must have thought, I'm a fucking genius.
Well, with every one that he got away with, like he had gone through like 30, never been caught, and like this was his system, and it worked great for him up until they found the mask.
And honestly, like, he was wearing, how would you describe the outfit he's wearing? Like, he's wearing a big overall, so he's covered head to toe, other than his head.
Yeah, and like he's got like, you know, your standard robbery gear, like hoodie, black, like dark clothes hoodie, but he just looks like someone walking on the street for the most part.
And what's amazing is, if you spend a bit more money, like prosthetics now are really, really good. Like, so if you spend a bit more money at the start, you come in with a big mask, you're away with it.
Oh yeah, like the dream, Connor, is to have multiple masks, and you swap them out depending on where you're going.
First one, me with a side part. Second one, me with the hair comb to the front.
Well, actually, now you say it, what you do, you have a series of masks. One of those masks is your own face. So you put that on, then making sure a camera can see you, you ditch that mask. So then they're like, oh, his face was being used. He can't be the original guy.
And you turn your back to the camera and then like take off the mask and throw it in a bin and then get into your car and drive away.
Exactly. And then you're like, okay, we got him. But then there is the danger that they track it down to the mask shop and they contact the guy who bought 17 masks recently.
One of his face.
So yeah, I mean, the dream really is you go into the mask shop wearing a mask, but like it's a chicken egg.
It's a chicken and egg. It's a chicken and egg situation. Where do you get that mask?
So you need to find one mask guy you trust, right?
No, you need to find a mask in a different state or a different town. Get one made, and then wear that one and go into another mask store and get 17 more made.
I think it would be easier to learn how to make masks, honestly.
It seems to be a lot of work just to get the masks. Yeah, you could just buy yourself a mask maker. Is there such a thing?
But I think, like, skill yourself. Learn, Skillshare, probably. They have a class on masks, I would say.
They don't sponsor a shop, please.
Read for the sponsors you want. But you learn how to make masks. Then, in the midst of all this crime, you're slowly getting clients and building up your mask makery business. After that...
But then wouldn't you be the first person they suspect?
No, because you're heavily involved in the business side of things. I don't have time, officer. Look, it's been a hard year. I'm just trying to make something of myself.
So, your plan is to set up a small business.
Yeah.
Come up with enough work that you're always... and put up with enough work and bankruptcy that you are constantly working and don't have time to commit robberies, but secretly have time to commit robberies.
Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to, 10 or 15 years as a mask maker, minimum. You hire an apprentice. 10
to 15. You have children. You move to a small town.
Yeah.
You find a wife or a husband. You move in with them. You start a family.
Yeah.
Everything looks normal on the outside. Inside you're bubbling away, waiting for a flat screen TV in 2032.
It's going to happen, and the only way that it'll happen is if you're firstborn, you pass on the business to them.
Yeah.
So, and look, you're not
you have
going
to wait for them to grow up.
No, Connor, you're not going to like this. You're going to have to frame your firstborn.
You're right. I don't like that.
So, look, you've aged up. You're 65 now. You're retired from the mask making business. Your firstborn.
No flat screen TVs. Been bankrupt
yet,
for
Connor.
years.
So, where was I? Yes.
Right, you're 65. You've framed your child, I think.
Your child is now...
Who's a grown man now.
No, you haven't framed them yet.
Okay.
Your child is now the head of the business, has the mask making business all go. But what do you have in the shed? Your own little mask making workshop.
Yeah.
So now,
which you could have just used in maybe 35 years ago.
But they'll track it back to the lad with the successful mask shop.
Yeah.
You need to pass on that shop. You look, honestly, the dream, you need that shop to go into liquidation so that it's bought for very cheap by the government. Then... and only then.
Apply for government grants. Fill out Form A27 and B437G. You've put the two of them in. They'll give you some money back. You use that money to then inevitably just buy a smaller version of a mask maker in your shed.
Portable.
And then portable. Which you could have done many years back, but now we're covered through, series of events that we couldn't have planned.
We had to pay for college for 3 kids, Connor. We were busy working away.
The 3 kids that were just had, really just as a cover story.
It's all been towards this end goal of having enough masks to commit crime.
And before you commit the crime, the night before... you leave a letter to say you're leaving your significant other and you never loved them and you don't even like the kids and your name isn't even John, it's actually Frank, and you're going off to move to Barbados or something, because then if they come around, you don't want them to say to the police, well, he's in Barbados. It couldn't have been him.
That's true. Well, okay. So...
stick with your family until you die.
Stick with your...
Commit no crimes.
Ride it out. Commit no crimes. They'll never find you.
The perfect crime.
Just like on your deathbed, just smiling up at the ceiling. And I got away with
it. They'll never know I thought about doing crimes.
I had a thought one day I might... become a criminal, and that's how I got into mask making. I
just got in too deep, really, in the cover story, to be honest with you.
I lost really myself in the role.
Yeah, it really got out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, but look, it's like all the grandkids around him at this point. But look, didn't it turn out all right in the end? Go fill that up for me.
And then his son comes in holding a flat screen TV. You fucking idiot. You committing crimes now. You have to wait another 40 years.
No, that was Black Friday. No. You're no son of mine.
Okay, we're going to have to move on, but that took a turn.
It did. But I that is one of the, most ludicrous situations we've ever had on the show, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I read that headline and I seen the image, and if you haven't seen the image, I would recommend anyone Googling what he looked like, because he does look like Napoleon Dynamite. It's amazing.
It's uncanny.
So we're moving on to a small story from Florida, Shaun. We have 2 bigger stories coming up, but our smaller story with Florida starts off with Florida man stabbed in fight by Swordfish.
Interesting.
I haven't seen this in a while.
No, okay. So, yeah, always thought swordfish were an underutilised weapon in a fight.
And I feel like anyone who pulls out a swordfish is a wild card.
Yeah, you assume they know exactly how to use that swordfish, that they've done this before.
A Florida fisherman was recovering today after being stabbed with the bill of a swordfish during a fight with another fisherman, a sheriff spokeswoman said.
It was with it, like they were just like reaching into their nets and whatever they found, they were going to attack him with.
He tried stabbing him with a squid before. He was like, fucking useless. There's only one. It's very rare.
It's very rare. Like they're reaching around. Hammerhead shark. Oh no.
I mean, yeah, but it's not that spiky. Fuck's sake. Police arrested Frank Ashmus, 46, and Garrett Spacek, 42, Thursday, after the two fishermen allegedly started fighting near a dock in Madeira Beach, a small city in Florida's Gulf Coast. Police said that after Spacek hit Ashmus in the head with a beer bottle, the fight quickly ended and he left the area. So he comes up, they're having a fight, and he turns around and he gets him with a bottle in the back of the head. And so Ashmus is down. He's down on the ground, he's out for the count.
Yeah, no getting back up from that.
Yeah. So Spacek, all cocky, decides, now's the time to go home. I've proven my point. I think we can all agree I am the victor of these fishermen fights that we all so love.
Yeah, one of our classic fishermen on fisherman stab fights.
So he goes back to his apartment, and later that night, Ashmus recovers. And so he turns back up at Spacek's apartment, Shaun. Now, you're thinking, does he turn up with a gun? Does he turn up with a hammer? Does he turn up, knife, anything with him? Spacek is in his house, minding his own business. Ashmus turns up carrying a swordfish in his arms that he had gotten from the dock.
That's a lot of prep. Like, he carried that swordfish to this man's apartment.
Do you think he got a taxi?
Oh, you'd hope he drove him. You're never getting that smell out of the taxi.
No. The idea that he wakes up after being knocked out by the beer bottle and is just like, fuck him, I'm getting a swordfish and I'm going to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, he's just single-minded on revenge at that point.
But it's such an odd choice of weapon.
Yeah, presumably there's knives and shit around the dock as well to
I mean, they have to cut fucking lines and wires and all. Surely he has a knife on him.
Yeah, definitely he'd have a fisherman's knife. That's definitely a thing he has. But he thought, no,
that's a fisherman's friend.
What I need to do is I need to engineer some kind of Sherlock Holmes novel where someone is murdered with a swordfish.
Right.
To what end? Oh,
yeah.
Revenge, I suppose.
Revenge.
Yeah,
tends to be revenge.
Because they say, because no matter what that man accomplished in life, then whether that man had, cured cancer or found aliens or whatever, he would always be the man who got stabbed to death with a swordfish.
Yeah, do you remember Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, your man that got stabbed with the swordfish.
Yeah, exactly.
Not your man. Yeah,
that's how he went.
That's how we went. That's how we wanted to go. That's how we all want to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I'm trying to think of any other examples of people who have died. Do you think there'd be enough in history? But
any other examples of people who died?
Yeah, I can't. There's nothing coming to me.
Anyone.
I'm real sorry.
Anyone that's died. I just name anyone from before 1950.
Oh, Jesus?
Jesus
Nailed
could have died
cross.
by a swordfish.
No, I don't think. Could it? Okay.
I don't know if there was that many swordfish in the desert.
I'm not too sure, honestly. Who would win the fight? Jesus or a swordfish?
I think Jesus could take the fight to the swordfish. He could walk on water. Swordfish isn't expecting that.
Yeah, turf means nothing anymore.
Turf means nothing. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll turn up.
Turn that water to wine. Swordfish will be too pissed to fight.
This swordfish is just swimming around going, Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking hell.
Jess, I need to lie down.
So he turns back up at the apartment and he then stabs Spacek in the abdomen with the sharp bill of the swordfish, which I think if he opens the door and Spacek he knocks on the door, Spacek opens it, he just goes, surprise motherfucker, and stabs him. I think that's the way you'd have to do it.
I think he timed it. Like, I think he knocked on the door, ran to the end of the hall, and then, like, sprinted with the swordfish held in front of him towards the door. Just at the point when he opened it, then he landed and it went in his gut.
Now, I will say that SpaceX is not dead.
Good.
Which is why we are covering this story. Both men apparently were very, very, very drunk at the time of the incident, Shaun.
Yeah, but that's still no... The breaking a bottle over someone's head, conceivably you could write that off as being drunk. But taking a swordfish from the dock up to your co-worker's house to stab them in the stomach, that goes beyond, it was a drunken mistake.
We don't see this kind of thing very often, said the county sheriff, which I can only assume. Also, in your novel, we have a Horatio from CSI say there's something very fishy about this murder,
very
and then
good.
the hits.
Yeah, that's absolutely the intro to it. And yeah, there has to be honest. There's been fucking 12,000 episodes of CSI or whatever, but surely someone has been stabbed with a swordfish.
Surely every possible murder has happened in that show, and they've come up with one line for him.
They had to have stabbed. It's just Florida Man. It's just the Florida Man story is coming up. If I put CSI, do you think it'll come up, Connor? Or like Bones?
Bones never did that.
CSI New York, Dancing with the Fishes.
Yes! That's the fucking midnight watch tonight, lad.
Oh, lads. Oh, there's a whole page devoted to all of the CSI murders.
I mean, is it not a bit insensitive for those lines to constantly come up? Someone's dead, like Horatio. Just chill out.
Stop being so fucking edgy all the time.
Nobody can even hear you. He always just whispers it to himself.
And then you look into the distance for about 40 seconds.
And everyone else at the crime scene is just looking at him like, yeah, alright, yeah. And they're just like still brushing fingerprints.
Also in that CSI episode, apparently they died by accident on the swordfish. They were like pushed into it.
Is it like a restaurant? It's like the swordfish on the wall or something?
I think so, yeah.
That's not half as fun.
No, but the whole episode revolves around, we can't find the murder weapon. He was stabbed, we know that much. But we need some CSI to find the murder weapon. And
they'll probably recreate it through somebody's eyeball or something.
Yeah, they'd love that, wouldn't they? They're fucking mad about that shit.
Take that, CSI.
We're coming for you.
So, Shaun, we are going to finish this week with Florida Man.
Okay.
And Florida Man decided to do a burglary, Shaun. And the problem is that sometimes Florida Man forgets things in the murder or in the robbery. And you know how it is where you might bring something to the robbery and it's a bit weird. But, I mean, he forgot the important things. Because cell phone left behind in burglary leads Florida Man to arrest.
Oh no. He called it to try and find where it was.
A St. Petersburg man was linked to an armed burglary and carjacking after he left his cell phone behind at the scene, said a county sheriff's office. Police said that at about 7:45 a.m, a man who lives in the 6,700 block of Gulfport, a lovely little block I've heard, awoke and went to his living room to begin working from home. So he wakes up, he goes to work from home.
Yeah.
He noticed his laptop was missing, then saw a burglar in his kitchen, Shaun.
Oh my god. It's okay, so bad start to the morning, I will say.
A police report said the burglar had the victim's replica samurai sword in one hand and the victim's vehicle keys in the other hand.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So that must be the dream as a burglar, to run into a house and find a samurai sword waiting for you.
Because once you have it in your hand, he doesn't have it in his.
That's it. Like presumably your man's first thought would be, okay, this will be fine. I have the samurai sword. I'll just kill this man.
He woke up and he reached out for his, like, the cabinet beside the bed and, like, to reach for the handle and it wasn't there and he was like, where is it?
Oh, and his hand is just there empty and then the camera, like, focus pulls to his eyes. Oh, that'd be great.
The burglar then ordered him to pick up a clothes hamper filled with stolen items from the residence and told him to bring it out to the resident's truck. The victim did as ordered, and the burglar left in the man's truck. So the burglar gets away. He's like, put the stuff that I've robbed from you into your car. I'm robbing your car as well. I have a samurai sword, and I'm not afraid to use it.
He's adding insult to injury the whole time.
Deputies determined, so the man called law enforcement just very, very soon after.
His name was Law Enforcement.
No, he didn't call Mr. Law Enforcement, he called Law Enforcement. First name Law. Damn it, Mr. Enforcement, you're off the force. You're a wild card.
Please, Mr. Enforcement was my father.
Deputies determined the burglar had accidentally left his cell phone inside the residence, Shaun.
Classic move.
They obtained a search warrant and found several photos and videos of the suspected burglar on the phone.
Just like, he met a tiger recently.
Him thumbs up beside the samurai sword. Him thumbs up beside the TV.
Him holding a sign that says, I robbed this place. So, like, for Reddit clout.
And then a final picture of him being like, number one rule, don't forget your phone. I'm going to take a picture of this so I have a look at it all the time.
And I'll pop it down here. That was his thing. If he had just left the samurai sword, he would have had a free hand for his phone and the keys.
See, that's the thing. But if I offered you a phone or a samurai sword, you're taking the samurai sword.
Every time. Yeah, that's true. Because... like, because I know what a phone will do, but I don't know what having a samurai sword will do to my life.
Yeah, what power will that give you?
What if it captures the souls of my enemies?
What if?
And I have several enemies, Connor.
How many?
One.
Is it me?
No. No, it's not.
Why did you pause?
I didn't. It was lag. It was the hail.
No.
It's hailing, Connor.
Sorry, what? I can't hear you. It's lagging. Yes, I will murder you. What are you talking about? They determined that the phone belonged to a Damien Grady of St. Petersburg. They also found the sword, which had Grady's fingerprints on them, in the street. So he threw away the sword eventually.
It's is this like Resident Evil or something that he ran out of inventory space? Because he stole a lot of stuff.
He had a hamper full of stolen goods and then he realised there's no room in my inventory for any more. I can't carry any more, he shouted.
I couldn't have stolen like another hamper or something.
No. He should have done like an upgrade or got a level up where he could put up his strength or his carrying ability, but he didn't, Shaun. He put it all into dexterity and samurai use.
Oh, so he can pick a lock. Fair play to him, but
yeah. But he never leveled up on fingers holding a phone. He has no finger strength or ability to carry anything.
No, he has like dexterity and charisma, I guess. Like, because he convinced this dude to rob himself.
He's a fucking madman to get things cheap.
He's the worst build in the game, but he keeps getting the victories.
So, what do you think of Florida Man here? He breaks in. He's like filling up the home full of stuff, or his hamper full of stuff, and then he sees the samurai sword. And there's a moment where he has the car keys, and he has his mobile phone, and he has the samurai sword. And he's like, one of these things is not like the other, and they have to go.
If only I had some kind of fabric attached to my pants that I could put small items in.
If only I had a hamper that I was putting other stolen items into, that I could throw this item into.
If only there was a vehicle outside that I had access to, that I could maybe load up with certain items before leaving.
But what if the samurai sword is extra shiny though and it looks cool?
Oh, it does look cool. Like, once you pick it up, you want to like swing it around a bit. You know?
Like, he's fully going, new.
He's Star Wars
he
kid in this.
Yeah, 100%. What else do you do?
I don't actually... Like, you could do, like, I imagine he'd practiced drawing it like a samurai for a good 20 minutes before your man came downstairs.
He got down on his knees and put his arms out to accept the sword as he got it.
He bequeathed it to himself, yeah.
Yeah. I think Florida Man, he's so close. He committed the perfect crime except for leaving all the incriminating evidence at the scene.
His only flaw was having fingerprints.
And leaving the one piece of evidence with his face all over it.
His face and all of his personal information saved in it, yeah.
Yeah, the samurai sword, even the fingerprints, like, they still wouldn't really be able to get you. Because he could have just worn gloves and put his phone in his pocket and he's away with it.
Yeah, but he really wanted that selfie with the samurai sword. No one will believe that he stole it.
Nobody will believe he'd seen a samurai sword.
He is a samurai now. That's what that means.
Shaun, I think that is it for this week's Weird News.
It's been quite the weird week, Connor. Will I take us out?
Please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Weird News Wednesdays. We will be back Friday with Hero or Zero, Monday with Movie Mondays, and next Wednesday with another episode of Weird News Wednesdays. Big thank you goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Big thank you, of course, has to go out to Waffles Loves You and says, protect trans youth, LGBTQIA plus rights are human rights. Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Joe, ratemyhemsworth.com, click rate, click loop, refresh, repeat, never give up, Hickok didn't Burney. Excuse me.
One job. He's got one job.
I'm sorry, Joe. Ray, my father was a women's rights activist, not my mum. Dad wouldn't allow that. Ging, Róisín, Schrödóisìn, Hally, Ryan, Satron, Paint, Evanson, Shaun, Bone, Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna, Maureen has the fry on Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky Who, What, Where, When and Why are the Eternals McGrew, and Danny McLaughlin. Thank you all so much for your continued support. If you want to join those fine people over there and get access to things like movie reviews that we've done, as well as talks about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and things like that, all available over on the Patreon. Also linked below is all of our social medias, and if you want to email us, it's heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But the most important way you can ever support the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Connor Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.